Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cheer Chat and Chardonnay, an idea that started,
Chardonnay.
over Chardonnay. So we thought it was only appropriate to have a Chardonnay. So this podcast is really just a time to be like relax and chat like we do if we're having a conversation. And we want to bring that into the podcast world of cheerleading. I think that, glass of wine probably helps.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think, what is it that you feel like, Dan, what's the reasons that you wanted to do this podcast?
I think that we are two people with a lot of experience, with a lot of variety of experience.
Yeah.
I think we're in good company. We can chat. We can
Yeah.
talk to each other.
Yeah, we can
and
talk for hours on end,
We
easily.
can pour a good white glass of wine.
Definitely.
I want this to be for everyone, whether you're a parent, whether you're a well-established gym owner, a legacy gym, or if you're just a gym owner starting out. I think the things that we'll talk about will be so relatable, hopefully, and you can really just take something from it. So, yeah, expect to have loads of past experiences to share. Expect to have a lot of laughs, and in it, we're gonna do things such as Q&As. We're gonna do personal stories. We're gonna do wine and wines. And we're going to do guest speakers and get you the most up-to-date information on certain areas. And yeah, we're just overall going to have a great time.
It's going to be fun.
So cheers to our first podcast.
Cheers. Episode 1. Let's go.
This is where you find out they're plastic.
That don't make that ding sound. That's the ding that we need. So we started with Chardonnay in the hot tub, and we think that that's something that we want to just set the vibe with, set the tone, that this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of podcast this is going to be.
Yeah.
We want it to be honest. We want it to be relevant. We want it to be interesting, fun to listen to. And so we think that we need to start with a bit of a toast and celebration that we've made it to episode 1 after dreaming about this for a long time. I think there's a lot of podcasts that I've thought about, like topics and things, like, you're talking with your friends and you're thinking, like,
I wish everyone could hear this.
I need everyone to hear this. Like, if you know me, I send a lot of voice notes. I will type a lot of long messages in my coaches groups and stuff. And, I think that just saying how you feel and getting information out and building relationships that way is really important. So this just seems like a bigger platform to be able to do that. So we're super excited about it.
We are. And I think it's just going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to interact with like a lot of people's stories and a lot of people's opinions. So yeah, shall we have a little bit of a toast?
So it's time to have our first glass of Chardonnay. We're going to be drinking Yellowtail. Ooh, put that there.
Yeah.
Haven't learned how to open a bottle with a mic, so
I'll hold it.
Okay, you hold the mic. There you go. You can talk
part of the experience.
If you've got any recommendations of Chardonnay, then feel free
please
to
send them our way.
recommend.
We both kind of done the same thing, and we were like, "Oh, are you bringing the wine?" None of us brought the wine.
None of us
So
brought the wine.
now
We're bringing the wine.
we will be on it with the wine, and we'll have a designated wine person. So these are Tesco's.
If you want the podcast to keep going, then just send us Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And that'll keep the podcast going. Wait, so can you grab that? And there we go.
Perfect.
And it's quite a full glass because,
we've got a lot to chat about.
So, our first official, hopefully we'll look back on this one day.
Yeah.
Like some of the pictures that we might show later.
Exactly.
As original content.
Very fun, very interesting photos.
So, cheers to episode 1 of Cheer Chat and Chardonnay. Ding! Oh, wait, you've just learned they're plastic. Might upgrade next time. The things that you learned. Was it open? Because you had to go by on a Sunday.
Yeah, it was. It was just around the corner. It was Tesco Express. Does a woman a world of good.
Oh, Express, yeah. Open on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right, so hop in my first sip.
Perfect.
Oh, that was a big gulp. Okay.
Yeah, delectable.
So should we introduce the topic of what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, so, first we need to introduce ourselves.
We need to introduce ourselves, and that goes into the topic, I think. So we want to start with introducing ourselves.
Yeah, okay. So, hello, my name is Dan. I've been cheering 9 years. Throughout that, I've done a range of things, started off in a range of places. I'd say that my cheer story hasn't really been as many other people would do it. So I started off. I actually didn't start off going into cheer originally. I got spotted because I used to help a charity which is really close to my heart. We're helping with autistic and special needs children. I used to teach them sport.
See, I didn't know this because when I was looking through the notes, I saw that and I was like, I'm going to learn loads here.
Yeah, I'm a multifaceted person.
And that was when you were a teenager. You were already doing
Yeah,
that.
so
Because you've got such a strong coaching personality. You're always wanting to help everyone in the gym. So when I saw that on your notes, because we might not seem that organized with the plastic cups, but we're a little bit organized. I did see that you were helping special needs kids, and that's when you were spotted. So where were you, and who were you spotted by?
So I used to help special needs and autistic children get into sport. I used to do things such as like rock climbing with them, like general, like athletics, and also like trampolining, keyword. So I got spotted by Liam, who
Okay.
is or was the head coach of Northern Vipers. And
Shout out, lives in Texas now.
yeah, lives in Texas
Full
now.
circle moment.
Very full circle moment. And yeah, so I started there, and he kind of said like, "Oh, would you like to try cheerleading?" I was really good at the trampoline. I'd done a bit of gymnastics before that, and I'm always the type of person, I'll always try everything once. And then from there it was history. I got there, started doing it, went instantly at level 7, which is now, well, old level 6, which is now level 7.
Because how many years ago was this?
9.
Okay, and that's what you did 9 years ago.
Yeah. And then I literally, again, wasn't the average experience. I went straight into dual base. So everything now, very few has done dual base. I was solely a dual base queen. I came to Limitless in 2023, which we'll talk about a bit later. And I've been on it for the past season.
Yeah.
But we've known each other for quite a long time. What about you?
Yeah, so my story travels a little bit further. I think that one of the things that probably people listening that don't know us, when you hear our accents, we don't think of it. I don't think of it as strange now because I'm used to hearing my accent and your accent. But I'm sat here on a couch in Teesside with a Geordie, with some wine from Texas. So
like chalk and cheese.
Yeah. So yeah. So, you could have told my former self growing up that this is where I would be at 38 years old, then I don't think I would have think that made any sense. Don't stop.
No.
Stop.
I wouldn't have said that.
Do it. Say it.
I thought I knew you in your 30s. I didn't think you were 38. So props to you, Queen.
Well, thank you.
She's been doing everything.
You know what? It's a lot of yoga.
What's the cortisol? It's a lot of them trip.
Yeah. Breathing in, breathing out. I was doing that in one of my one-to-ones tonight, having them exhale all of that negative energy. But yeah. So I started out in Texas, and you would think that I've got like some elite level experience because I grew up in Texas, and I'm not gonna lie, like maybe that helps. Like, let's be honest.
I do think you're very direct. That is something that we maybe don't have over here.
Oh yeah. But you know what? But your accent does that anyway. So the way I explain it to my mom is, and people listening, if anyone listens to this from Texas, I don't know, but if they do, they will probably hear a hint of an accent. They will also hear a hint of a lisp because I have Invisalign. And so that will be here until at least Christmas. Yeah. And then we might get rid of the lisp. I don't know how you edit out the lisp. I don't know if that's a possibility. But until Christmas, I will have a little bit of a lisp. And I probably sound a little bit English, a little bit like I'm from England a little bit. People here don't hear it. But see how I said a little bit and I went up on the end. But, you guys sound so polite. You say everything like it's a question. So when you're making a statement, you're like overly polite. Like it's like I'm so polite that even when I'm not asking a question of someone, I'm still going to say it like it's a question. Like, is it okay to say it or not? And like go up on the end. And people do it when they get off the phone. They're like, bye, 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 bye. And they go like up on the end, don't they? Yeah. So my accent makes me come across more direct anyways. But so, I didn't actually, like cats out the bag, didn't actually like do like super high level really in Texas. But that's also because like I grew up that long ago because That's 20 years ago, but going back to when I moved over here. I did high school cheerleading. And then I did all-star cheerleading, and go into a little bit of how I got into all-star cheerleading probably for another episode. It wasn't just a straightforward path, but didn't think that I would do cheerleading again. And then when I moved to the UK, I actually moved over here to do a gap year through my church back home, and came over and did youth work for a year in some parts of Teesside and Stockton.
Did you get given that? Like, did
Given
you
what?
decide to come to Middlesbrough?
So my church had partnerships with churches over in Teesside, and they would come over and do a
Right.
week. So really, how the story goes actually is that the year before my senior year, I went on one of the trips with my church, and I went to Huddersfield. Was the first town I ever went
Mm,
to. So being from Dallas, everything is flat. So
yeah.
we like seeing a hill, like literally seeing a green hill. Like I thought Huddersfield was the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. And like people don't understand, like I remember being on top of a hill and looking down into a valley, like somewhere outside of Huddersfield, and thinking like,
This is it.
this is it.
This is
I found my home.
beauty. This is
Yeah, this
nature.
is beauty. Like there's
Yeah.
green grass, like neon grass, because it rains so much. But I was here in the summer and I hadn't experienced the winters, so I didn't know like how miserable it could actually get. There was some girls a little bit older than me who had done a full year over here, and I just like was always pretty independent and adventurous, and so I thought going to a different country straight out of high school before starting university sounded like a really fun idea. So I came over here. Definitely had a massive culture shock in the area that I was in, which we'll get into more when we introduce our topic.
Mhm.
And then started university at University of Teesside. Started a degree in
Teesside Wildcats.
I did. So I found out there was a cheerleading team.
Right.
And I showed up to Teesside Wildcats cheerleading, and they were like, "Oh my God, do a toe touch." And I never thought I had the best toe touch, but apparently it was good.
You were that girl.
I knew where to put my arms in a toe touch back in 2005. And it was like, that's it. You're the coach
You're on the
now.
team with the coach.
You're the
on it.
coach.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
You're the coach now.
Yeah.
It's time to take over. I think. Don't quote me on that. Who was coaches back then? I don't know. I don't have a very good memory, but I definitely started coaching at some point.
Slay.
And so then, quite quickly moved into getting involved with other cheerleading teams. Found out that there was, like a higher level cheerleading team in Leeds, which most people listening will have heard of. So what, used to be Aviators, and found out that there was, was a part of that team when it was we train every 3 weeks, sleep in the gym. It's like a big party for the weekend.
Yeah.
Part of those days, pretty much.
They're not common now. Well, they're
Yeah.
they're not as common now.
No, they're not as common. Like you had to find a friend. So some people would just sleep on the gym floor, but I was definitely like too much of a princess for that. I didn't understand how you could train the next day and be in a cold gym all night. But like I get cold really easily. Like every time I'm spotting someone, my hand touches someone and they're like, "You're cold," and I'm like, "I'm in the wrong country." So
I'm a reptile.
Yeah, I'm basically a reptile that needs the sun, and there is none here. So
it'll do it to a girl.
So I just made a friend, like I was like, I'm gonna have to find a friend here and like sleep at their house every weekend. So that's what I did. Yeah. So so didn't plan on doing cheerleading, did cheerleading, went back to America for a while, and then was over there and kind of was planning to move back here. And then didn't really think that the market was enough fully saturated in this area. I thought there was maybe a little bit of room. So
Whereas
I, agreed to move back here, and but the caveat was that I was going to start my own cheerleading gym. So I kind of went at that absolutely full force, because if I get an idea and I want to do it, it just kind of takes over.
Yeah.
So
I think we're both like that. Hence why we've kind of done this.
Yeah, and just
it went from a month ago being like, let's do a podcast. Now we're like, we're on it.
Yeah, I think you just have to go for it. I mean, you only live once, and maybe it's a midlife crisis because I am older than you thought I was. And like, I mean, I'm halfway done.
Maybe this is a cry for help.
I am halfway done. Like, that's scary. So, anyways, so yeah, that's me.
Okay, that's fun.
So,
And you are the owner of, because we haven't actually said the
oh
name.
yeah, no, we haven't. And I didn't wear my gear because I was like, it's not a plug, it's a
Yeah, and it's not a
podcast.
plug, but it's an
But we might
integral
as well
part
plug.
of you.
It is. So my gym is in so my gym is in Middlesbrough, England. And maybe everyone listening right now is from my gym and they know exactly who I
Yeah.
am, but maybe not.
If not,
If not,
we're in the northeast of England.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that come with being in the northeast of England, whether that be things like deprivation rates, again, different languages, different cultures, different priorities. But we are, in fact, in currently now what is the Limitless All Stars gym.
Yeah, that's where we are. So this is our little coffee room upstairs.
Yeah.
So makes for a good podcasting room.
Which you've been, how long have you been going now?
So this is our 8th season. Obviously, you've got a year and a half, 2 seasons around there about for COVID.
True.
So, but we're going into our 8th season. So yeah, it kind of feels like they say, that's about how long it takes to build a business. And I think it's kind of true because it kind of feels like a real thing now,
You've just been turning up here for the
Well, I've
past
just
7
been
years.
slaving away for 7 years. And now it kind of feels like it's actually like a
You're
thing.
reaping the
Like,
rewards. Yeah.
We thought a pretty obvious topic, maybe just using my accent a little bit again, but is talking about where we are, where we came from, and maybe a question that you might think has an obvious answer, but I don't know that it does.
Well, this is it. I think once we talk through what we're going to say, you'll be like, yes, no, maybe. So who knows? So we are going to be talking about Texas or Teesside. Who cheers better? Let's start off with the obvious, Texas.
Yep.
Paige has some stats for us.
Oh, let me turn them back on my computer here.
Think.
I have a few stats. Do you know what was really interesting? I actually looked up trying to find out how many cheerleaders are in like Dallas, because I'm from North Dallas, not on the internet. Then I tried to find how many cheerleaders are in Texas, not on the internet. I'm shocked because I can ask the internet a lot and put in AI mode and I will always get an answer. And when AI can't give me an answer at this point, I don't know what to do with my life.
They don't want you knowing.
So I actually had to go into how many cheerleaders in the whole of the USA. But side note, used to be a maths teacher.
Yeah.
So I hope I've done the maths right. So I've actually worked out percentages of the whole population and compared them to each other.
She was a whiz on this
because that's what my nerdy brain wanted to do. Yeah, I wanted to know.
I love that.
Yeah, so
also, I just think like GDPR. Surely we know all that. You've got to register yourself at competitions.
Well, this is the thing because you've got USASF registration in America. So I'm thinking, well, how do you not know? Like, how does AI not know this stuff?
Yeah, or even like gyms in America.
But then you can find out how many cheerleaders are in the UK.
Yeah, do they not have to report like business? Like no.
I don't know. It's Texas. We like our freedom. They probably don't report much.
So true. Yeah. Anyway.
So we have 89,000 cheerleaders in the whole of the UK out of 23 million people. And in the US, we have, no, not a lot. In the US, we have 3.5 million cheerleaders. 3.5 million. Just think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
That is a lot of cheerleaders. So our entire UK population is 69.23 million people. This is just a quick Google search. So, and then the entire US population is 340 million people. So 1% of the whole of America is a cheerleader. 1% of the whole of America. I think I said before 1 in 10. That was a lot.
Yeah, 1 in 100 people is a cheerleader. The thing is, I'm gagged at that because I think, I mean, this is just me being from the UK.
Yeah.
I just think it's so huge.
It is huge.
No, but like even bigger. I'm surprised. I thought it would be more.
I know, but Dan, you have to memorize there's an age limit, isn't
there? No, yeah. Well, this is nothing.
So that goes into it. So when you think that let's just go for like only a third of the population is really of like an eligible age.
Yeah.
And then 1% of the whole population is a cheerleader.
Okay, yeah. I think like the way that the media, so we've got things such as cheer, such as Bring It On, such as High School Musical. I think that is what kind of sold that to me, being like, oh, everyone's a cheerleader. Everyone in high school is a cheerleader.
Well, you
Do you
know
know what I
what's
mean?
interesting is it's something that's probably made the UK market grow a lot. And I will
Yeah.
use that when like kids come into the gym because we'll have people that are coming for tryouts, these kids, and their parents will bring them. And I've literally started saying to them before I do the trial, like, do you know what cheerleading is?
Do you know what we
And
do
like
here?
sometimes they literally are like, no. Like they don't know what they're doing. Like they've heard the word cheerleading. They
And
have
they've just
no idea what they're
ran
doing.
with it.
Oh, I was in a school. So I'm coaching in a school, which is something that, oh God, if they're listening, it's not my favorite thing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's how I started out. I went around and just like
You've
sold
got
my
to
soul
though.
to every school,
Yeah,
like
you've got to.
free sessions, as many as possible.
Yeah.
Let's just get the word out. I had to do it.
Trying to indoctrinate them young.
Yeah. And now like, basically I thought I was going to be able to have another coach do it. Then their schedule didn't line up. It wasn't her fault. It was our fault because she needed to coach here,
Yeah.
basically. So she's coaching a team here. So I was like, I'll just cover this for the 6 weeks. And I'm leaving the school and I say to the girls at the beginning before the session, what I now say, because I've realized like I have kids with like deer in headlights, like don't actually know what they're about to do. And I'm like warming them up, like let's jog, let's stretch. And I'm like, this is kind of weird when you don't know what you're actually about to start doing.
Yeah.
So I start asking them, do they know what cheerleading is? And so I'm like, who thinks that it's pom poms? And I should
Hands
phrase
up.
that in a different way because most of the time the kids are excited it's not pom poms because they know. But I should phrase it in a different way because there's the one or two kids that goes, yay! And I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
you're like,
about to devastate your world.
let's start this.
Yeah, we're not
again.
doing pom poms. And so I'm walking out of the school and I hear the kid like picking up, like, or their parents pick them up. And I hear one kid, like, you hear them like, oh, did you have a fun time? Da-da. And they're like, yeah.
She's like, no.
And then one girl's just like, there was no pom poms.
She's been robbed. She's been deprived. But I think still like there's a lot less. There was 0.12% compared to America.
Yeah, I know I used to be a math teacher, but I actually am a bit rusty sometimes. But yeah, I think I worked out. If somebody wants to check this and like put it in the comments, like I won't be offended at all,
Please.
promise. But I believe that in the UK that there's 0.12%. So, oh yeah, so when I'm doing trials at the gym, like you've brought your kid to the gym now, so like this is different to an after school club.
Yeah,
like you
this is
should
our
know,
domain.
But like I use that. I'm like, have you seen Zombies? Like, have you seen High School Musical? But when I'm talking to like parents and stuff, I'm like, have you seen Bring It On? And most of them say, I'm like, it's not far off.
Yeah.
Like, go and watch like the competition,
Yeah,
like
they're on
little
it.
clip at the end of the thing, and like it's not far off.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to do that because they don't know what the sport is, and you don't get that in other sports in the UK. You don't bring your kid to football and like
This
not
is
know what
it.
football
And be like,
is.
oh, have you heard of?
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
not a football
confusing
girl,
because
so.
people will be like, so in our gym we have team sessions and then we have tumble sessions that are required, and they're like, so what's the team session? Like they kid has like been to tumble and then they're like,
I'm
don't
laughing,
know
but
what the
they
team
asked
session
that.
is.
Like I'm laughing,
Yeah.
but that is a.
Yeah, they
I
do.
laugh because I know what it is, and I'm like, oh, silly.
Yeah.
You don't know what the team session is, but that actually is like
Yeah.
what they would have to ask.
And then you have to like explain it, and you literally sometimes have people leave at the beginning of the season if you don't explain that well enough.
Yeah.
Because their kid's been doing tumbling for a while, and then they go to join a team and they're like, oh, I didn't realize I had to lift people. Like, and I don't like
Yeah.
that now. So like I literally use like relevant stuff. So I think sometimes the movies that have been made in the US have definitely, I don't know how much it's benefited in the US. I can't
This
really
is
speak for
it.
that, but it's definitely benefited for the UK because these kids
Yeah.
have seen this stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it's like seen as that, like that childhood sense of nostalgia, that thing to do. But then I was also going to say, like, in terms of when you talk to the parents, I think, yeah, like Bring It On is a really good one because they've probably watched it.
Mhm.
But for us, it's now getting on to things like, oh, have you seen Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift Shake It Off music video?
Oh yeah,
Have you seen
there's like some
Chia?
baskets in that, I think.
Yeah, there's
something.
baskets, there's
Yeah.
stunts. Have you seen the Chia on
Oh,
on
that's
Netflix?
so good. That
That is
been
like
on
the
there.
prime
That's the best thing
time.
that's happened, I think, to cheer in the UK.
Do you know what I mean? So I
is
think it's
cheer on
funny how
Netflix.
media changes.
Do we want to just like kind of talk about like how we met as well? Just because it's episode 1, so you guys need to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So we were introduced to each other through an acquaintance, which we both now hate. I'm just gonna put it out there, but that's really fun.
I try and only hate like up to 5 people at one time.
I respect
But then
that.
like if I do kind of like I'm just like kind of like I just kind of am okay with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's
Yeah.
fair.
No, I get it.
You know, like if it's more than that, then like you're gonna become an angry person.
Angry, hateful person.
Yeah, but if you just kind of be like,
Just
well, that's
like
okay. Like
me.
as long as it's only like 5,
Yeah.
then like I'm just gonna be like still like pretty chill.
Yeah. Fair enough. So we met through an acquaintance at the beginning of, I think it was the beginning of Limitless.
Yeah, I was
were
definitely very
just
close to
setting
the
up.
beginning. Like those videos of us stunting together, there's like no
Yeah.
banners on the wall. It's like an empty, like
Empty,
dead
fresh
warehouse,
canvas,
just hoping that one day it's full of cheerleaders.
which now it is.
And now it is.
But yeah, so we met then, and it was kind of the thing that I think back then. I mean, this was only like, what, I would say even 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. You were a
Well,
kid.
it would have been 7. No,
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
You kind of knew everyone, I think. Like, I think open gym culture has changed. So for those that don't know, open gym is where there's kind of in a lot of time you'd go to a gym and train. You could train with people that you're going with, or you could just, I mean, back then it was you could just turn up and train with anyone.
Yeah.
Whether that's like dual base, partner stunt, group stunt. So yeah, so I think I would just come down here and do some training, do some open gyms,
Yeah.
fitness, and then it's just blossomed from there.
Yeah, I think if you were on like had done anything somewhat high level like that many years ago in the northeast of England, you knew at least of each other if you had not met.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like you definitely seen like something on social media because
Yeah.
I mean, going back that far, like people that had high level skills in the industry was still like really rare. Like it has
Yeah.
literally just compounded like year after year after
This is
year. And just, I mean, I remember in our gym having like a round off flick tuck class towards the beginning days with 2 kids in it.
Yeah. And you're
Like
working
that's
them
crazy.
to death.
Yeah, just rep after rep for those 2 kids, basically.
Yeah.
Just thinking like, you know, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Like if we don't have the tuck class,
yeah,
they'll leave.
Well,
so we better build it and hope that they come.
Yeah.
So I think, I think you just kind of like all like knew each other. And I think that like that's still the same, like kind of from that era is that it's like a very familiar thing. Like when you go, like you kind of didn't realize like what a special time that was like when
I
you
miss
got
it.
into it. Because like you still see all those people and like those people are like all the ones like running their own gyms, like working at the competitions. Like it's like everybody still knows each other. And you take this industry that was like a baby like 10, 15, 20 years ago, and all of a sudden we're all now adults. Like, or we were barely adults and now we're like, do I call myself middle-aged? Now we're like middle-aged adults. Now we're like in charge of things, you know? And like you have these memories with these people when you were like kids or like almost kids.
Well, this is it. Like I would always say when I think of like just things like that, I always think of what now is Electric Athletics, but used to be called Rising Stars. I used to always
and
think
you were on there for a bit, right?
No.
Oh.
But I went to open gyms there all the time.
Yeah.
Because I miss long open gyms, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, they had really long ones.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone used to come from literally the northeast. Like we used to get, so my old program, Northern Vipers, we used to get about 10 people, 11 people, travel down. And we just used to go mix in and have fun.
Yeah.
And just, this was really a time to work, like just cool skills. And like, even like a big thing that I wasn't used to there was group stand.
Yeah.
I was primarily a dual-based queen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just such a fun time to work and like have a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah. When I started out, that was very popular. So I really only started out as a dual base flyer. But like when I was in Texas, I was a base. So like it was only when I came over to the UK that they were like, okay, now you're allowed to fly. Like, I mean, in today's standards, like I just wouldn't be allowed to fly because everything's gotten better. But when it first came over, it was like, oh yeah, okay, like you're kind of small. Let's put you up in the air. Like we got 2 strong guys under you, so it's all right. But I mean, so there's so many ideas for podcasts, and I think this is why we've been able to sit in the hot tub like this with a glass of wine And like you just end up having so many things to talk about. I mean, like,
Well, this
why
is
has it
it.
changed from dual based to group sent? And there are answers to that.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to go into them now.
But it's like,
But it's like
we need to
that's a
save
whole nother
it.
podcast.
Yeah, this is
Like
it.
there's so many topics and there's things that people like don't realize. Like, why has it stopped that so many people would go to an open gym like that? Well, like, first of all, there's probably more people near your own area that you don't have to
Yeah.
travel that far to like have somewhat of a similar experience. But also like the score sheet changing is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Like what we're looking for to be successful in the industry and in teams has changed so much that it has gotten away from let's just go and like throw some fun skills,
Well, this is
you
it.
know. And so, you know, obviously that's a whole topic of its
Yeah.
own, isn't it?
Did you ever go UKCA? You ever
No.
been to UKCA?
No, I've watched the videos though.
Yeah, but that's, to me, it's
No,
like,
and I didn't go there, but there's a gym nearby that I coached for a while, Pumas, and they hired me just as a freelance coach when I was starting off, to coach their team and get them a bid to the UKCA. I totally messed up some weird thing on the score sheet. They got some massive deduction. I did some dual base thing and they got like 6 deductions on it, but they still got their bid
oh, perfect.
and they went to the
Okay.
UKCA.
But
So I've never been, but I did help a team get a bid there.
Slay.
Yeah.
See, like, to me, that is like a full different, not like full
Podcast?
different
No, just kidding.
cheerleading. Yeah, that too, but that's like a full different style of cheerleading to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it's just like a completely different score sheet. It's not something that I've looked into at all. But yeah, it's obviously just like I don't know any gyms that go there particularly anymore. I don't think.
I know
But
of gyms.
okay.
I don't know any gyms here.
Yeah. So we'll have to look up the stats on that. You can leave it in the comments. It'd
Yeah.
be interesting.
Have
like
you ever
what
been to
are like what
UKCA?
are does it tell us the stats of like number of gyms going to UKCA versus like going to
Like BCA?
going to the I don't know, the providers that are working towards your Florida bids and
That's it.
using United score sheet.
Bringing it back to Texas.
Right.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything is bigger in Texas. Like literally when I go to Texas and I come home, like I had like reverse cultural shock. My friend told me
Cultural
like when I moved
intake.
back. Yeah, so I did a gap year, then I moved home and went to Austin Community College, like right next to University of Texas, and lived in Austin for a year. And my friend that I was living with was like, "You have reverse culture shock," and I was like, I found myself like missing the tiny sinks. Like I was like, there's something nostalgic about tiny sinks with 2 taps. Like even though I didn't understand how to wash my face. I can't tell you how many times I would hold my hands into the cold tap. I would like run it under the hot tap as fast as possible and then splash my face. And I was like, is this what everyone does in England? I was like, I don't want to fill it up. Like I spit my toothpaste in there. Like that's gross. Do I have to clean the sink every time I wash my face? I don't understand.
That's true.
Anyways, so the sinks are bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
Yep. The sinks are smaller in England. The cars are bigger. The houses are bigger.
Food's bigger.
The food is bigger. And when I go home, I just don't care. I just eat it all.
As you should.
I'm going to gain a few pounds and it's going to be worth every bite of tamale.
Yeah, we don't have Raising Cane's here. We don't have Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah. We do bring back the sauce when we go, and then we use the nuggets from Tesco because I think the basic Tesco nuggets are the best ones, like
You've
just
heard
the
it here
straight up.
first.
Yeah. And then if you use those and dip it in the Chick-fil-A sauce, it's pretty good.
But the biggest thing is, I think cheer gyms are bigger in Texas. We've got
Yeah.
some really huge names there, like Cheer Athletics, Plano.
Yeah, so Plano is like the original big dog. Yeah.
And then I didn't realize, I was doing like some research on it. You've got some huge ones, like Prodigy, who has Midnight.
Yeah.
You've got Spirit of
Texas. Yeah.
You've got the universities. You've got Texas Tech. There's another one.
Yeah.
Austin, maybe.
University of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, like you've got huge like high school programs. Which I don't think I know we don't have. Yeah. I think a huge thing with Texas as well is like, I mean, we can get onto this, is there's not that room for progression here than there is in Texas. With them, I think you can get things like scholarships, you can get things just colleges, like lower grades.
Yeah, so this is a thing that I talk to the parents about a lot, and I'm very honest in our program, is like, you know, it's very hard to figure out how hard to push kids when you do not have the same carrot dangling
Yeah.
of this could pay for my child's education at some point. Like, unless you're going to go to America and get a scholarship, like, I am so realistic with our parents. We sat down and did like parent athlete conferences last year. It was really cool.
We did that this year as well.
Um, yeah, this, what?
Did we do that this year?
You mean this last year?
Oh.
We did it towards the end of the season last year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you weren't a head coach then. So if we do it
Yeah.
again this year, then you'll get to do that. So that was fun. So the head coaches all sat down with the parents, and like, I'm very honest with them. Like, I felt like that conversation was so needed with them, because I'm like, I don't know how far you want this journey to go. Like,
Yeah.
I need to know from you how hard, like, we're going to have an expectation of, we want to have high standards and we want to push your kid to their full potential. Like, that is definitely something that we want to do in the gym. But trying to find the balance of what that looks like in the area that we're in is, it is incredibly difficult, because people have different expectations. And I'm sure this is true for gyms like in Texas too. I'm sure they come up against similar things, but we do have a missing huge piece of the puzzle here, which
Yeah.
is there is no further cheerleading career. This is not a professional sport. And also, we don't even have something that's going to say, hey, this is going to provide you with a free education,
Yeah.
or
This is the
partially free education. It's going to help you financially at some point.
Yeah. This is like the culmination of like all your
Mhm.
work, which can
Yeah.
be seen in XYZ, whether that is a scholarship or
Yeah.
access to university. Yeah, no, that is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, so I think that in some ways, like, I know that some people see kids like drop off when they're 16, because 16 seen like a little bit more as an adult here. I would say in Texas, like, you are really not seen as an adult before you're 18. No one
Mhm.
sees you as an adult. And
That's crazy.
no, yeah, I mean, definitely, like, you're just not seen as an adult before you're 18. Like, high school doesn't finish till you're
Mhm.
18, so you're in full-time school.
I mean, we had like athletes in the gym paying for their own membership. Do you know what I mean?
Under
Like,
18.
yeah, like
Right. I mean,
that's
that's just a huge thing right there. Like, how
yeah,
much can
yeah.
you charge someone? How much can you expect them to be there when you know that they're having to pay their own way?
At
So
16.
at 16, and they're having to have, probably another part-time job next
Yeah.
to that to pay for cheer.
Mhm.
That's just something that, in where, I mean, I'm from North Dallas. So when you look up the statistics of Teesside, like, I came here to do a gap year through, a nonprofit organization. So, there's a reason. The area that I first worked in Stockton, and used to go around and do detached work on a Tuesday night. I, for some reason, remember it was a Tuesday night. It's such a random thing to remember. But like 1 in 9 teenage girls were pregnant. Like, that was the stats of the area that I was working in, was like 1 in
Yeah.
9 teenage girls were pregnant. And I would go in and I would talk to kids in school, and I'd be like, so what do you do? Like, what do you do after school? And like, they would just be like, nothing, nothing. And I know that's not the case everywhere in Teesside. And I was in specific like areas where that was the
Yeah.
case, but like, my mind was blown.
Mhm.
Like, because I grew up in a culture where, like, if you want to get into university, you better have more than grades on your
Yeah, you've got to be
application.
doing XYZ, you've got to be doing
Yeah.
everything.
So
Honors, AP
yeah, AP
classes, things I've
classes.
heard of
Yeah. And
various
also, I
multimedia.
mean, that's a whole nother thing. That's a choice. Like, you can choose if you want to be an AP. So
Yeah.
you're not set, like, you're not told, like,
Right.
no, you are in the bottom set. Like,
Yeah.
you can just, if you want to go AP, go AP. If you fail, you can get moved. But like, if you want to try to be an
Right.
advanced placement, you go ahead, like, try your best to be in there. So, when I remember just like my mind being blown and just being like, I cannot imagine being done with school at
Yeah.
3 p.m. or whatever it is, and like, literally just being like, the hours. Like, these kids aren't going to bed before midnight, 10, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Realistically, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing all night? And then when I find out like 1 in 9 teenage girls are pregnant, like, let me tell you, they're bored. Like,
Yeah.
they are way too bored. They need
Mhm.
something to do. I tell parents this, I'm like, they need to have like like camaraderie and like
Yeah.
they need to have something like outside of their family. Like this is what teenagers do, like they try and explore like outside of
Mhm.
their family unit, like they need that other unit. And so I think there's so many like natural things within cheerleading that ticks that box. Not to say that everyone's going to love it,
Yeah.
but
I think everyone goes into it for different reasons as
yeah.
well. And like, yeah, following on from that, I think something that's really, really cool is the kind of gap between men and women who are doing it.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think, especially up north, this is just like my opinion, sport is not encouraged. Like,
Mhm.
especially things such as gymnastics, such as cheerleading. Like, there's a huge, I mean, you get it anywhere, but I just feel like the north, especially, is
Mhm.
very much prominent in that.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I mean, I definitely have seen that when I first moved over. I do feel positive that things are changing. Like maybe that's just because the gym is growing. So I'm meeting more parents that want
Yeah.
to get their kids involved with stuff. I think a lot of people have said that COVID is maybe something that's made people feel differently about getting kids involved in things. But obviously feel super strongly that like sports and extracurricular is it's just when you get to be an adult, like you need to have those healthy outlets, and so building that as something that's a natural normal thing as a kid
Yeah.
is just like so important. But going back to the point, there is no carrot for it.
Yeah.
It is just we want you to work really hard. Now the problem is, or the pros and cons to it, is that the kids in the Northeast are watching, they have access to, because of social media now, the TikToks, the Instagrams of all the best teams in the US.
Yeah.
So now they want to emulate that, but how do we do that? And
This
and
is it.
and how do we realistically convey the massive differences that we have? Whereas when you look at a deprivation map of Texas, you when you look at the most like least deprived areas,
Mhm.
and you kind of look at where all the cheer gyms are, like that's where the cheer gyms are.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the UK, I would say actually we have looked up some of the most successful gyms in the UK, and a lot of them are in the most well-off areas. But when we're talking about who does it better, Texas or Teesside, actually where we live right now is like when you zoom in, like where our gym is like we are in one of the darkest, like
Yeah.
as they go to deprivation, that it gets on the map. So it's literally flip flopped where we are right now, and in an area where people could use something to give them a scholarship if they're working hard,
Yeah.
they don't have it. There's no access to it. So what I literally start to think like, what is the motivation of these kids like to
Yeah.
get super high? Like, what is going through their brain? Because it's not a college scholarship,
Yeah.
like I actually don't like fully like know. So I think it's super impressive. Like the kids that we have that
Yeah.
are here like 3-4 days a week, like working
Yeah.
really hard. It's super impressive.
I always think it's like kind of soft skills. So like with America, we've got kind of hard skills such as, you will get a scholarship, you will get a
Right.
thing. But with here, it's like, no, we're teaching you teamwork, we're teaching you
Mhm.
motivation, we're teaching you X, Y, and Z. However, I think they need that. Like kids, especially like from where I'm from around here, like they
Mhm.
do need that to survive. And they need
Mhm.
that, like you said, like what are they doing after 3 p.m.? And they need that extra push to do something. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, hats off to the parents because they're the ones that are seeing that this is important. Like that this is important for my kid to have these experiences while
Yeah.
they're young, and that this is going to benefit them in life and benefit their growth and development as a kid, even though it's not going to mean they have a college scholarship or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would say, I think one thing that's really prevalent here that we don't have in the US, there's definitely more of a stigma over there, or a not a cultural norm, because you go to college and then you're kind of done. It's like, I'm an adult now. I am done being a
Huge
cheerleader.
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
21,
Yeah.
22. I've graduated. I've done my thing. I'm done. And I think that in the UK, it's really cool that we can
Yeah.
have people that are doing this sport all the way through their 20s,
But
sometimes even their 30s.
I'm 22. And the fact
Yeah.
that like I'm looking at, so I was huge into the celebrities. Like I used to watch like Kennedy Thames, Kenley Pope, Ryan CAA, I think that's her name, from
Mhm.
senior elite, and
Mhm.
I used to look at them and go, oh my God,
Mhm.
why aren't they cheering past 18? Why have they
Yeah.
retired so early? Because that's just not something that's done here.
No,
Do you know what I mean? So I was
no.
like, should I be retiring? Like,
Yeah.
should I just quit right now? Because like this is it. Like over here, we have such a good opportunity for like we've got masters teams, we've got like
Yeah.
international open, so people who are like 30, 38, 40
Yeah.
to do it and train.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that absolutely crazy that Shia stops at 18.
Yeah, there's definitely more of a culture, like I said, like you're not an adult till you're 18 and you're almost not seen as a full adult until you kind of like have been to university and finished it. At least like I would say that's definitely prevalent like in the culture I grew up in North Dallas. Like it was just like you are going to college and you're not really an adult till you're 22. Like
Mm.
that's the way it goes. And then, okay, now I'm done with that stuff. Now I'm ready to move on. That was a kid thing that I did, that was definitely the way it was growing up. Obviously, I've been here a long time, so don't come for me if it doesn't feel like that now in Dallas. But yeah, so it is, I found it really, I actually did find it like super like heartwarming, like the different age groups that there are over here. Like it is
Yeah.
really cool. And it's just, people are just genuinely doing the sport because they love it. Like there is no other
Yeah.
reason. And so it's just cool to see what a positive sport that it is and how many people it attracts. And I say to the parents all the time, like, we don't have to do it. Like, we don't really have to market this or convince people to like it. Like the
Yeah.
sport does that for itself
Yeah.
because it's so
100%.
much fun to do.
I mean, like, I think a great thing about the gym, especially that I'm noticing, is like everyone's friends
Yeah.
and like everyone gets really, really close to each other. And it's like, again, it's that sense of camaraderie, which
Yeah.
I know is going to be huge in Texas. But like for here, I think that's what they need. Because if young people aren't getting, say, having the best time in school, like this is
Yeah.
their safe zone. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like for often a lot of the athletes here, like this is their safe zone where they feel safe.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why they're here like 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. I mean, there's a girl who's been with us for a really long time, and her mom told me not that long ago that she had literally kept from her PE teacher at school that she could even do a cartwheel. And like this
Mm.
kid is a phenomenal athlete. She's been with us for years. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I just thought, wow, like take that for a cultural difference.
Yeah.
This is a girl who the culture that she is in, and I understand it might not be the same for everyone that they feel like they have to hold that back. But for whatever reason, for this girl, the culture that she is in school, she felt like she should hold the fact that she is as talented as she is, that her
Yeah.
PE teacher literally didn't know she could do a cartwheel. And I'm like, take that compared to literally being like wearing a cheerleading uniform to school on game day.
Yeah.
Like, and it definitely, like, I'm not gonna lie, like as far as like some kind of popularity contest, like you're wearing a cheerleading uniform to school and like everyone else is in normal clothes, like
I mean,
you
we have
are
like,
standing out. And like
yeah.
this girl didn't even want to show she had a cartwheel, and like she's a way better cheerleader than I ever was, and I just was like, how crazy like is that, but like
Yeah.
so then when she's coming to the gym, like she's literally being a different person. Like it's like Clark Kent
Yeah.
and Superman. Like that's what these kids are doing. So, I sat down one of our teams the other day and talked to them about like needing to be a team and like needing to be nice to each other because this is truly a team sport. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is not swimming, this is not racing, running, athletics, this is not tennis where you only have one other opponent, like, and you get as good as you can. Like if you make that other person on your team feel left out or feel bad, like you are literally like, and they leave, like you have
What we're
literally
going to
just
do.
done that to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to find a way to try and be like amicable with everyone and like at least like somewhat like acknowledge them and like be caring as much as
Yeah.
possible, and like also like be able to like reconcile differences. Like that's important. Like we need to be able to talk about
Especially in
problems.
them 12 to 19 age ranges.
Yeah, and like they are
Them girls are
so in
feisty.
themselves like all day at school, like a lot of the time. So I think we had the other night at Vance Humble, we had kids there from as young as 9, 10 years old, all the way up to 19, 20 years old. And they wanted to put on like zombies and Descendants music.
Mm.
And this is a Friday night at 7:30, you know? And it's just like, what a dream come true. Like, to talk to kids in an area in England where you go, what do you do after school? And they go, nothing.
Yeah.
And then to see kids that are like not afraid of looking dumb,
Or
like,
even just like
and in front of each
failing.
other,
Yeah.
like dancing and singing to Descendants
Yeah.
at 7:30 at night, and you're 18, 19 years old, and you could be out doing God knows what instead.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not going to forget those memories, like where they get to put that mask down, you know?
Yeah.
So they're creating those memories. And so, I do think that's what like keeps them coming back.
But I want to quickly touch on high school cheerleading. High
Okay,
school,
yeah.
we don't have
Ask me
that.
about it.
This is like, we have a prime candidate. 'Cause
It
you
was
were.
High School Musical at my high
Well,
school.
this is
That's what I tell
it.
everyone. It genuinely
Because
was.
we have, I mean, I don't know, I'm not speaking for the whole of the UK, but we had a dress code. You know, it's either polo and a sweatshirt, or if you were in a school that done shirt and blazer and a tie, you done that. I cannot imagine girls coming to school in a cheerleading uniform.
It's kind of ridiculous, really. I mean, there's definitely two sides to it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I hated the idea of uniforms when I first came over here. Like, I was just like, this
Like
makes
normal
kids so
school
miserable.
uniform.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now that I have kids, I absolutely love it because I never have to think about what they're going to wear. Get that uniform on. Like, I don't want to have to, I am not going and planning your outfit. You know, like there was girls in my high school that legit like were like afraid to wear the same outfit twice.
Wow.
What? Like, who's buying you all these clothes? You know? Like,
And
how much money would they have saved? I mean, I didn't do that. Like, that's ridiculous to me. But there was people who, like, I remember just like literally being like, that girl's never worn the same outfit twice. Like,
I mean, slave for her, but
it's slave for her, but that's a lot of pressure on other. I mean, I remember there was a jean. I don't know if the brand's still around, called number 7 jeans. Are those still around?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
You had to have the number 7 jeans when I was in high school. If you didn't,
oh my god.
I remember when I got my first pair.
And you were like,
I thought I'd never look so good.
This is it.
Yeah.
So like, is it?
Like, I fit in now. I have the number 7 jeans. The world is all okay. But like, I felt so bad, like begging my parents for these, but I felt like I had to have them.
Yeah.
And I guess kids still have that. Like, I think you see that with girls over here with like the bag they wear.
Or the furry
it's like, it's got to be like River Island, the furry jackets. Like, you got to have the right bag, you got to have the right coat. But like, it kind of stops there.
Yeah.
As far as school wear, I assume.
Yeah.
Because what more can you do? You're in a uniform.
Well, this is it. Do you think, like, if you are a high school cheerleader, are you popular?
Well, I grew up in a time where we literally had a popular vote to be a cheerleader still. The way that I tried out for high school cheerleader was we stopped school, okay? And the whole school went into the gymnasium. Given I graduated with 500 people, so we're talking there was 3 grades in my high school. On the
American bleachers.
And the basketball court thing, just like you, like literally legit, just like High School Musical. And so there's 1,500 people in here. And you have to go out, you have to do an entry, like you would tumble out if you had a tumble. And then you would do a chant, and you would
by
do
yourself.
I think we got to do with like 2 or 3 other people, the chant, but then we had to do like a solo like tumble. And then we would do like, I'm pretty sure we did a dance too, like with like 300 to 500 people. And then the entire school population would vote for who they wanted as a cheerleader. This is the
Hunger Games.
Yeah, we had judges too, and it was like a split. I can't remember the percentage. It was like 70 judges, 30% student body population vote or whatever.
Insanity.
So my story of like that I tell the kids of like, you can come back and do anything, is I was a cheerleader in junior high.
What age? What age?
So
what is junior
that's
high?
like, I started cheering at like 13 or something. I did gymnastics.
So like year 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and well, this kind of shows you like a little bit more of like what like it was more Hunger Games over there. So like in my school, like, apologies if you were on this team, but in like 7th grade, you didn't have to try out. So I don't know what it's like in every school, but in my school, like no one who legit wanted to be a cheerleader did that team. We all just trained that whole year. We're like, we're not doing that. You don't have to try out.
Okay.
And so then when you got to 8th grade and you had to try out,
you were scared.
Most of those girls didn't make it. Like, because it was like, yeah. So for me, when I came over here And flip the script, I go to a university over here, and you're telling me you don't have to try out for
Yeah.
university cheerleading?
Which is like, they are like doing tuck X doubles, they're
Yeah.
doing like pike
Yeah.
doubles.
Like, people don't understand that this is not the same thing. So like, I'm like, well, I grew up without not having to try out for cheerleader 1 year when we were like 11 and 12-year-olds, or 12, 13-year-olds. And so like, no one did it. Like,
Yeah.
like, so it's just such a more like competitive nature, you know?
Yeah. Oh my
So
God.
yeah, so we tried out for my junior varsity year, first year of high school, and I did not make junior varsity cheerleader. I
Were
know,
you
if you want it in
heartbroken?
the podcast now, because I don't like, it's just like, I don't even listen to anything more this lady said. Like, she didn't actually make junior varsity cheerleader. I understand. It was a huge disappointment. I thought the world was over because I was going
Them
into high
number 7
school.
jeans meant nothing.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And I was like, well, like, that's going to be like, you know, I'm going to know I'm okay in high school because like, I'm going to be a cheerleader. So it's going to be
Yeah.
all right. And now I'm going into a school with 1,500 people, and I don't
And you're
know
not a
what I'm going to
cheerleader.
do.
And your life is shattering.
Yeah. So, and the reason I did not get on is my spirit score on the judges.
That might be the worst reason to get on.
I didn't
Oh my God,
smile enough.
you've got the tumbles, you've got the stunts, but your cheer
I got the
score.
popular vote. I got it wasn't that. It was the spirit score. I didn't smile enough.
God.
And so that's how I got into competitive cheerleading, because it was really only starting back then. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna like make sure I work my butt off to get varsity cheerleader. So I worked my way into getting a standing tuck that year, did competitive cheerleading for a year, and then came back. And when I tried out in front of the student body, Dan,
You were a new girl.
I was one of like 2 or 3 people who had a standing tuck out of everyone who tried out.
they
That was
ate you
a
up.
big deal back then. I did a standing tuck. Talk about a comeback.
No, literally.
I'm not kidding. The crowd roared.
Yeah.
If you get a step back, like, you don't make the team you want or whatever, like, I genuinely have been there. I thought my life was over. Like, I didn't get to be a cheerleader that first year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we did pep rallies. I mean, you can look it up online. Honestly, if you look up, I went to J.J. Pierce High School in Richardson, Texas. You can find their current pep rallies on YouTube. I mean, we don't have the ones from back in my day, but to see where it is even 20 years later now, like, it's insanely impressive. So,
sick. I was gonna say, like, you have really, like, I mean, I don't know too much, but I've seen there's been like competitive high school where you compete against other high schools.
So we were actually the first year in my high school to go and compete. My year was the first year. And do you know who choreographed ours?
No.
Name drop of cheer gyms. No. So they had outside choreographers do it. We had just like a teacher who was one of the like, it was called the cheerleading sponsor, and that was your coach. They'd only just started hiring outside coaches, kind of our year, really.
Okay.
And so and we had to go out of we used to practice on the grass after school for 2 hours. Like, that's where we practiced most of the time. And then we went to Pro Spirit, which is in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was who choreographed our very first high school competitive cheerleading routine. We were the first year group to ever go and compete. And it was really just people did school cheerleading and then they did competitive cheerleading, but they didn't really do both until around that time. So that was 2000, and I think I was a junior that year. So I think that was like 2004.
Year after I was born. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
See, like, I think the closest thing we have to that is like uni cheer. Like, I mean, this is a whole other podcast, but like, uni cheer is the thing that we have there. But even then, that's still like,
because it's more social too.
It's like
very
it's
social,
so much
obviously.
more social. But like, again, like, that's not got anything on like university cheer in America.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But I still think, like, I mean, there is cheer clubs, like university clubs, that do good.
Yeah.
Like, shout out North Stars, Northumbria Uni. That routine.
Yeah, some of them are pretty impressive now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And and again, that's just people wanting to do it. Like, so it is impressive when you see that people are just choosing to do that, like, until like they decide to like put more money into it. But I mean, it's such a cultural difference. I mean, you know, look at like every American movie. You take like a villain or a smart person, you give them a British accent. Like being
Yeah.
smart and like being like we're the best at education is like a very British thing. And I'm not gonna lie, like my education at Sunderland University, like I ended up changing to math from PR and marketing. Um, I hated PR and marketing because I thought it was just like lying to people, and I was just like, "Bleh."
Yeah, you let me
So
know.
went to do math, and like I was super impressed by my education there. I got over here and it was like, you're not just doing a math degree, like you are a mathematician. And I was like, oh, I am? Like,
Who said that?
I didn't know I was that smart. Like, I got on this course somehow.
Oh, I
Like, it
love
was like, no, you
that.
are a mathematician now. Like, this is, I don't know. I did feel like there was a difference of like clout, of like education. And I
Yeah.
think that like that whole, like, it's not like a campus where you're like, oh, there's all these lifestyle things necessarily as well. It's like, I am here for an education,
Yeah.
which there's an argument for that,
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
I appreciate that. I feel like I got a really good education here, to be honest. How have you found like cheerleading in Teesside? And like, is there anything that's like surprised you or that you feel like you want people to know that like you've experienced here? And like also like coming at it as like a male cheerleader as well. Like, what is that? Like male cheerleading is something that is, again, look up the stats, put it in the comments. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It feels like it's on the decline in the UK. Do you feel like it's declining?
Let's talk about the male cheerleader first.
Yeah.
I actually think it's on the rise.
Okay.
But this might again just be
Despite the
like,
score sheet.
yeah,
Do you think, let's just teaser here, do you think the fact that a like walk-in hands press lib is now relevant? Is there an argument that that is helping male cheerleaders get into the sport because it's more like attainable to do co-ed sooner now?
good question.
This is talking to somebody who hates to do tosses and loves walk-ins.
Yeah. So again, like going back to my roots, I started Jill Base at 13 years old.
Oh my
At
gosh.
13 years old.
Were you like always like strong for your age though? Because ever since
I
I've met
was
you, you've been like strong.
I was like, so I'd done, I've done all sports. I've done kickboxing, taekwondo, gymnastics, running, everything.
Yeah.
I've always been a bit strong. Oh, coffee fart again. Love that.
Yeah. That's just going to be part of the show.
So I started doing Jill Base, and again, that I think for me that made me the cheerleader I am today.
Yeah.
Like it made me know where I need to be under the stunt. It made me build strength from like 13 to 15. I was a beast. So I
Yeah.
was literally solidly under these stunts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I do think that walking lib push one
Mm-hmm.
is good.
Yeah.
But I do think
It's accessible.
it's accessible. But it's like, will that get you? I mean, for me, oh wait, so bring back to that. So when it was partner stunt and we had to do partner stunt in the routine,
Yeah.
girl, I couldn't toss these like grown women at 13 years old.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, let me do a hitch to chest, which I don't know. Loads of people call that different. You call that walking.
Yeah.
I call it a hitch. So I was doing like hitch and then push to two, push to one. And again, that was good. But
Mhm.
I just think, even for me now, like I've only learned partner stunt in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
I'd say. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's still such a huge gap. Like I do think there should be like some different progressions within it. So
Mhm.
like, because then again, like
Well, like bringing back like partner stunt competitions, like
this is it.
these,
UKCA.
like male, like I feel like for male cheerleaders, like a lot of them, like they, you got to really enjoy the routine and enjoy group stunt to
This
stay
is
in the sport now. And some of them, like they just want to do partner stunt, and like to keep them in the sport, if we're not providing that in a way, is like it's a problem. But I do think on your gravestone will be like, it would have been easier dual base though.
That is my thing. It would have been easier to do
Like it doesn't matter what
we need
stunt.
5 max stunts. Do this one.
Yeah.
Do this one. Do it.
Like it does not matter what difficult stunt we have tried in a session and we're doing it as a group stunt. Like Dan will be like, do you know what? I think like if we just all did it dual base,
Think
like
and
if
dual
we just did
base.
dual base, it would just be
You
easier.
can have
But
eight flyers in the air, girls. Like,
yeah, but
imagine
that's
how cool
just
that would
going back
be.
to your roots because you want to
Well, this is
control the whole
it.
stunt.
Well, this
Because
is
if you're dual
it.
basing, you're like, I just control that stunt and it'll
This is
hit.
it.
Let me just have the full
And
stunt.
I'm too tall to be a main or a side, so now I'm back. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love backing now. Backing's actually really saved the day for me.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, like, I'm someone who I will happily do anything.
Yeah.
I love cheer. I love that. You do have these male cheerleaders that are in it for kind of the macho-ness. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
like,
And like you got to try and cater to like everyone who wants to be interested in the sport. And I
This
think
is
it's
it.
very dangerous to be like kind of like causing them to leave the sport because like a like walk in hands live is just as get many points on the score sheet
well, this is
as but
but
the EPs are all changing now, aren't they?
this is it.
They're all
This
changing
is
now. That
it. I love
difficulty is
it.
going to matter this year.
Yes.
So shout out to Jam Fest. Thank you
We
for
love
being
you.
the last one.
Yeah.
Literally did a dance party in the gym and like shouted it across. Like the kids have no
Yeah.
idea. Like I'm like, this means da, 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 like the score sheets have changed, and all the kids are just like, but
Okay.
they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They don't understand. This is a big deal.
No, literally.
We could do 100 podcasts on APs and score sheets.
Yeah.
Obviously.
For another day.
Yeah.
I remember going to like, again, I've been to the Europeans, Croatia, they were doing partners over there, and it was so cool. And I just think like here, like you had to really work for it.
Yeah.
And if you weren't given that in the routine, you're like, you want me to be a back? You want me to be a back when I can lift a whole woman by myself?
Right. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It feels like such a like just step down for people, doesn't it? And I think it just became for a while that like if you weren't just like a boy tumbler, like what was your role anymore? Like there wasn't kind of that place. And I think with cheer, like especially with it, you know, with all these non-tumble divisions, like it is obviously a sport that like every like you know when parents come through, we're like we need every shape and size in this sport.
Literally,
like that's what's so great about it.
Yeah.
Like we're not just like, oh, you don't have like a swimmer's body, like this probably isn't for you.
Yeah.
Like we need every shape and size. And like I think for male cheerleaders, like we need to find a way that we need every shape and size and type of male cheerleader. Like some are your like, you know, tumblers who like aren't as powerful, and like some are like powerful bases who probably can't tumble, you know?
Well, this is it.
And like we need them to be relevant on the score sheet because they offer a lot of talent. So we need to be rewarding it, you know?
Yeah, this is it. I think it's, and again, it's like linking back to this. Like Texas, if you don't have a skill on a team, if you need to be cut, there's 50, 100 other people to do that role. Yeah. It's literally like
we want to keep everyone we can.
We need to keep you. We will have to change stuff if you leave.
Well, you know I mean, this is probably, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw in this story now.
I'll do it.
Like one of the ways that you obviously like saved us, that our friendship has been probably a milestone in our friendship.
Yeah.
After COVID, they allowed people to enter Summit and Worlds divisions. I don't know if it was Worlds as well, so I don't want to speak wrong here. Because we didn't have a Worlds team then. But they allowed people to enter Summit with less than 16 people.
Yeah.
So you used to have 16 people. So, I mean, you take the lack of population of cheerleaders in the UK in general, okay, and then like shrink that down to the lack of population of cheerleaders in Middlesbrough, England.
In the north.
And then you tell me I have to have 16 people who are good enough to be on a team and also willing to put, I mean, you know, it costs people around about 2,000 pounds now to travel to Florida. So, 100%. I mean, this is a stat could have looked up before, but what's the average pay for somebody that, like, are we literally talking like nearly like 10% of their entire income for the year? Like at times, like we're getting close to that number that we're asking them to pay. Like I am so well aware of that. Like it literally like weighs on me and like keeps me up at night.
Yeah. It's like getting to like a house deposit.
We're having this competition here and then we got to figure it out. Like we got to get there. And like if you don't get there, like are you relevant anymore, you know? And like when you're a competitive person and you want to be the best you can be and you want your athletes to be the best you can be. So anyways, it was only a couple years ago. God, I can't remember what year it actually was. I won't be able to say the year.
2023.
Okay, 2023. We traveled over with our first summit team in the hashtag first summit
atmosphere.
team, atmosphere in our first time competing over there in the open co-ed level 4. I mean, I was on the team
Yeah.
because we needed people on the team. I had like, it was like, okay, like we're asking all these athletes to do this many skills. We need one more basket. I'll just throw myself in. Like it takes the pressure off of someone else, we need somebody else to hold a prep and a pyramid. So I'll be in it.
Yeah.
And then,
she was an all-rounder.
Yeah. And then we had like some bad news right before we were going to travel that somebody wasn't able to come. And I will never forget where I was. And I was walking home on the school run, and I had both my little boys next to me, and my heart, like the world is spinning. And we were meant to leave.
She's dissociating.
For Florida. Like it was an out of body experience. And I call you, and it was 2 weeks before we left, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks before.
Literally, yeah, 2 weeks.
We were traveling to Florida to compete at the summit for the first time as Limitless All-Stars, and we had just lost a base. And our team had, do you remember how many people were on this team?
11.
11 people.
But at that time, 10.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so you lose a base with that many people, like you are literally screwed.
But I mean, like, even as well, like, for you, you might not understand, like, because people have, like, sometimes loads, like 20 to 25 to 30. 10 people, that is 2 strong groups. So losing one of them, girl, what are you going to do?
Yeah. No, we were done. Like, we were so done. There was nothing we could do. So I called you and was literally like, I mean, how do I even start this conversation? What are you doing in 2 weeks? Do you want to go to Florida and learn a routine?
Like,
learn a whole routine in 2 weeks and go compete in Florida? And like, not like, look, you're just going to fill in on some parts. Like, you're doing the whole dang thing.
Yeah.
Because like, you need to be in every single section of the routine, because we all are. Because there's, I mean, the way that we filled the floor, like when you watch it, the fact that we could fill the floor at all is impressive. With 11 people is mental.
Yeah.
So we went on to compete, and we came 8th in the world. And y'all, we didn't come 8th in the world by like,
there's 9 people. No.
What's the word? Defecto? Is that a word? No, that's probably the wrong word. Like automatic.
Yeah.
There was no automatic. You got to day 2 with it. Well, there was, but we got there legitimately. Like we were actually in that finals count.
Yeah, it was. Is it
however many they allowed? I don't, something like that, like top 10 or half or something. And we were legit in it.
We beat Senior Elite.
We beat Cheer Extreme.
Oh, Cheer Extreme.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
We didn't beat Senior Elite.
I'll be honest. No, we beat Cheer Extreme, and it was one of their satellite locations.
Yeah, I think it was Riley.
Yeah, I can't even remember which location, but it wasn't their main one. No, I'll be honest, it wasn't their main one. But like, what a win for us.
But like,
just even say we beat Senior Elite.
And I always remember, and like, I think their routine was literally so good. But like the look on their faces when they're this random team honestly, from the northeast of England,
with 11
from a place they've
people.
never heard of, who hasn't probably been in the media at all for cheerleading, if not sports.
They will have looked up every team that they were against, and I would bet my life on the fact they never Googled us.
Literally,
they never Googled us,
and like that is just like a testament to it.
Yeah. So I feel like probably kind of. So, anyways, you saved the gym.
Yeah,
you saved possibly my life in that moment.
I will take that title humbly.
My boys didn't get any attention on the way home from school because the whole conversation was just like, please, dear God, let him say yes to this.
Well, I remember
the fact that you did, and that you were like busy in uni. Like you're like, you take your studying very seriously. Like how you even did that, I don't know.
So I done biomedical science at university in Newcastle, to be exact. Loved it. I remember I was in my second year. It was literally a month to my exams, to my second year exams.
And you still did it.
And like these are like, so like second year is kind of when like they actually start mattering. So like if I did the master's program, so it's like it built up in terms of like this was weighted X amount, this was weighted X amount. And I was like, oh my God, I really need to do well on these, I really need to do well on these. I got a call, do you want to come to Florida in 2 weeks? And I was like, oh. But again, this is something like, you know, it depends on priorities. Like, I love cheerleading. Like, it's something I can see myself doing till I break. So I
Yeah.
was like, this would be such a good opportunity. Like, I've known Paige for ages. Like, I really want to help her out. I called around my tutors. Do you think I could do this? Think I could do this?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I think I can do this. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, we done it.
I think you said like, give me like
I was like,
24 hours.
give me 24 hours to
Yeah.
literally check my whole life,
Yeah.
check everything,
Yeah.
check my timetable, and then I'll see. And then we done it.
But
Got
I
my
mean,
answer
like
the
the
next day.
pressure, like we're traveling from England, like the money that was at stake
Yeah.
there, you know, like to let down, like not just to be disappointed for ourselves for the program, but like the people involved, the
Financially,
financial involvement that
this
these
is
people
it.
have put forward, like that was a huge, huge, huge thing. And so, you
But
know,
then also, like,
obviously very grateful.
take out financial,
Yeah.
like the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, that
Yeah.
would have been such a blow to the gym
Yeah.
to like get your name not out there.
Yeah.
And like all these people who have like watched what was atmosphere like come up through the ranks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like that was such a pivot for
Yeah.
us. And like it's been so good ever since.
Yeah. And it's just been a lot of just pushing through, wasn't it? And just, you know, thinking that, you know, just keep building, just keep building. And so, you know, a lot of credit to just the way that the sport has gone in the country and how it's grown. And, you know, I do feel like it's easier to like market now and like word of
Yeah.
mouth and like you know, it's not just probably what we've done as a gym, but it's just the UK as a whole and watching the sport grow that like getting to like start to see the benefits of just more
Yeah.
people through the doors, you know, so you've got like, you know, less like kind of hairy situations like that with only 11 people on a team, you
This
know?
is it.
So, I mean, but you know, if it wasn't for COVID, we wouldn't have even been allowed to have our name out there. And I think
Yeah.
because we would have had to have 16 people and we wouldn't have been able to have it. We lost the camera.
Died.
Did it die?
It'll still be on it, hopefully. So we are back just after the phone died.
Yeah.
Technical difficulty, our first technical difficulty we run into.
Learning rule number 1 is charge your phone before you want to do a podcast.
Exactly. Or even employ a camera. Some would say that is the better
Employ a
option.
camera.
Yeah.
There's no budget on this podcast yet.
A camera, I can bring it in.
The podcast budget is however much these microphones were and a bit of Chardonnay.
Yeah, literally.
So where's my Chardonnay gone? There is. I've got to finish it before then the podcast. Yeah. So if it hadn't been for the COVID rules, we wouldn't have even been able to get our name out there. And I think that you know, that just touches on kind of just the craziness of the industry that you've got to have 16 people and you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you only have how many people play on football? Is it 7 aside?
7 aside.
Yeah, you only have to have, this is the argument I always make, you got to have 7 kids on a football team, which is the most popular sport in the UK.
Oh, there's 11. We've just found out.
Oh, sorry. Kill's in the room.
Shocking word in it.
This is 11. The only thing he felt like he needed to weigh in on. There's 11 aside? That is the number we had with Atmosphere.
So we could have been a football team.
We could have been a football team. But now you have to have how many people to compete internationally?
Literally. And like you've got to think at a good level because yes, you can take 16 athletes. However, are 16 athletes are going to have the same effect on the floor as 24?
Yeah.
No, they're not. Like it's going to look dead. Like you've got to think when you have 16 athletes, it affects things such as creativity, like general sportsmanship, like transitions. You can only do so much with them.
Yep. There's
so
many transitions. It's a lot easier. The more people you have, definitely.
Yeah.
So we were lucky back then. You know, I do think it's really hard for gyms that are starting out now that those rules have been lifted and they have to have 16. And then going into what the score sheets look like now as far as how many people you need to have your max quantity stunts and stuff. I honestly, I don't know how people are starting gyms now. I think that I feel like we got in at the last minute and it would be hard to start a gym now. I do feel like that genuinely.
But shout out to everyone that is starting.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, like we constantly need that growth and that.
We need gyms like starting, not shutting down. You know?
This is it. I mean, Northern Bible is shut down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is it.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't hack the pressure.
The pressure of the 16.
Pressure of the 16.
Yeah.
And we were just doing group stunts by the end. Do you know what I mean? Because we lost that interest.
Well, you only need 4 people for a group stunt, so there you go. So you go down to a group stunt.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
This is it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's so many people starting. I do think that is really good and I think it will benefit the sport.
Yeah.
As it is.
Yeah. It makes it become more of like a normal thing to get your kid into. So any exposure like I think it's good. It's good to see the numbers growing, and more gyms opening. So I do hope that it continues and that the industry like tries to figure out a way to make the rules and the regulations so that the sport grows. Like, we're all
Yeah.
competitive, we all want to win, but like, listen, we need each other to compete
This
against.
is it.
You don't want to be
This
showing
is
up
it.
and like there's no one there to compete against.
Yeah.
The original question was Texas or Teesside.
Yeah. Who cheers better?
Sorry, I had to do an extra because of my Invisalign. It's a lot of talking. Spit starts to build up. But yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Texas or cheerleader? Texas or Teesside? Who cheers better?
I think you should answer what you think first. What do you think?
I think this is something I'm very torn on. Practically,
because you've grown up being like into the cheer labs, like, and a lot of them are from Texas.
Well, this is it. Like,
it's like, how could you like be disloyal from those people?
Well, this is it. I think there's good points for each. In my heart, currently, my political answer will be Texas. But that is not including the fact that like this is something that Teesside is up and coming. Like the athletes we have, I think are prime time athletes. Like they work so hard. And I think, girl, give it a few years.
Yeah.
We're gonna rival them, 100%. You know,
a few years, we're gonna rival.
Maybe 10, maybe 20. But I give it time and we will rival. But like right now, I do think Texas has that infrastructure. It's got kind of the built-in nature to be a cheerleader.
I think for me, like looking at the stories, like my PE teacher doesn't know I have a cartwheel, but I'm actually like Clark Kent and I go and do the sport and like went to Florida and, competed at one of the highest levels of cheerleading. I think that given all of that, like I am just so impressed that like we're able to exist.
This is it. Yeah. This is like part of my answer as well.
Yeah. Like we're in Teesside and we have like a pretty thriving gym right now. And so for me, I feel like that, you have to look at like the starting point and where these kids like are culturally and what it is that they're gaining from the sport. And I think that there's a very like authentic love for the sport if you're doing it in Teesside. Like you're not doing it so that you can wear a cheerleading uniform to school and like be a cool kid.
Like, you're doing it because you love it.
Yeah,
it's an outlet of expression.
Yeah.
And you're gaining so many other skills from it that they don't even know they're gaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you might actually be like bullied for doing it in school, which is horrible. Like if that happens, but like it does. And like people don't know what it is. And like going back to being like a male cheerleader, like one thing to touch on, like my little boy is actually, he does cheerleading. Actually a story from then, he just went to his open day at school and I asked him how for secondary school and I was like, oh, how did it go? And he was like being shown around by other students. And he said, well, they asked me what my favorite sport was. And I was afraid to answer because I thought that they might make fun of me if I said cheerleading.
I hate that.
I know, so but sad. You know what? This is actually such a cool like moment, like full circle moment, is that he told them that he likes cheerleading and he was really nervous about their response. But first of all, they knew what it was. So like number one, they knew what it was.
Yeah.
And then they responded like really kindly. So whoever those kids were that talked to him at school, like, thank you for your kind response. And they told him that they thought it was like a really cool sport.
Oh, I love that.
And they like talked about like the positive things about cheerleading.
I know. Oh my God, stop.
I know. And like, and I literally just have to be honest with him and be like, yeah, you will probably be made fun of for doing this. And he knows that. And like, he still goes and does his back walkovers on the playground. So, for me, like, especially like having a kid and having a little boy who wants to be like a male cheerleader, that for him to be able to do that and like fight off the bullies, fight off people that might make fun of him, and, to see these kids want to go really far in this sport and to be such like positive influences and like good role models, like, I think they are the ones like fighting like against the grain to like make the sport like go far, like when you literally have so much against you to like make it go like far. So Teesside has definitely had a big place like in my heart from the beginning. It had green hills. I know that was Huddersfield, but this has green hills as well. I like spending time on those hills. we didn't have any hills in Texas. And I think that the cheerleading scene has been a really exciting thing to be like a up and coming part of,
Yeah.
and to see it continue to grow. I don't know how long it's going to take us to rival gyms in Texas, but you know what? Like, it's been a surprise so far how things have
This
come.
is it. There's such a good opportunity to explore where this can go. And like even now, like we're doing things like I don't know, I just feel like you take things season by season. Everything's
Hmm.
different. Like you've grown from last year. You've
Hmm.
got different things in place for last year. So like who
Hmm.
knows what's gonna be,
Yeah, we really don't know.
yeah, who knows what's gonna be in 10 years?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like how big we're gonna be, like satellite programs.
Yeah.
God, the world is our oyster.
Shout out to the guy that owns the unit next door. If you want to
Yeah.
sell, we keep asking.
So yeah,
So I think we've podcasted.
I think we have podcasted.
Should we have
So
a cheers with your empty glass? You finished your wine.
I finished it.
We finished the podcast. We hope that you've not found it boring. And I think it's just gonna get more and more fun.
This is it. Like, I just think for us, this is like something that we're quite new at. We haven't really done.
Yeah.
We kind of just want to do it for fun because we've got some good ideas.
Hmm.
And I think it'll just get better each week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, please tune in next week where we're going to talk about kind of where we are in the season right now. So,
Yeah.
often a lot of people, a lot of gyms are going into choreo week.
Hmm.
So, we're going to talk about what that entails, what we look at, what
Hmm.
happens, the trials, the tribulations, and yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more about what is happening right now in the gym all over the country. So there's loads to talk about. We could talk all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cheers to that.